Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Anime here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a movie from 2004. That movie is Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh! When it first, came on. I honestly found the show to be kind of sort of goofy and fun and ultimately a little bit stupid. And, and I didn't follow it for too long, but I did at least watch, like, the first, 50, 60 episodes, something like that. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and what I saw there I kind of liked, and then, the later episodes I watched kind of sucked, that's why I gave up on it. I don't know where this movie falls in terms of, the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Canon, and I don't know if this thing is going to be any frickin' good. I honestly just happened to remember watching fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost 15 years ago when it first came out, and I'm curious if this is going to be any fucking good. And the only way I'm going to find out, guys, is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. But wait a minute. I thought Yugi won all three of the God cards in the Battle City tournament, didn't he? He got all three of them by winning matches in the tournament. And I know it's been a long time since I watched the show. I thought Kaiba was there present to see him win all three cards. Which means Kaiba knows how to beat the fuckers. He saw Yugi do it. Okay, I totally understand, guys, that it's a pointless thing to bitch about, but you'd kind of think the people who worked on this would at least know a little bit about the shit that happened prior to the movie happening. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem right to me. Oh, and one more thing, guys, and this just popped into my head. I know that Kaiba was present for at least one of those fights, because Kaiba started with one of the God cards. Yugi beat him for it. So he knows how to beat Obelisk, at least. Guys, I am totally sorry that one line is just fucking with me, but holy shit, I have not watched the show in years, and this shit is just coming back to me. And the people who worked on this, I assume, watched it when they were working on it, and they didn't know this shit. Oh my god, it just floors me, guys. Well, guys, I now remember why I stopped watching this frickin' show. Because watching characters play a really shitty card, game gets really boring really fast. And this friggin' duel here between friggin' Pegasus and Kaiba has been nothing short of dull. So the Pyramid of Light card removed all the god monsters from play and sucked everyone's soul into Yugi's puzzle. Why? I mean, because you could clearly read the text on the card when Kaiba played it. It said nothing about sucking up souls. What the fuck's going on here, guys? Oh yeah, there was also one other reason why I stopped watching this show outside of the fact that it got incredibly boring. The dialogue got just incredibly shit. Every time that Kaiba opens his fucking mouth, I just cringe. Because his dialogue sucks that fucking badly, guys. Guys, I just thought of something. This whole fucking duel could be over with one simple card. The only thing that Yugi has to do to stop all of this madness is just play Remove Trap. I know for a fact that is a card, because I had it in my deck over a decade ago. And it lets you remove a trap card from play. He can then remove the Pyramid of Light, and then he'll have all of his god cards back, and then all this stupid shit with the evil god of death is done. But no! We are not going to get that. No. The writers have to drag this boring goddamn fight out as long as fucking possible, even though there's like the fastest logical way to end it. It really, guys, is just starting to bug me exactly how easy this shit would be to counter, and they haven't countered it yet. It's just bugging me, guys. Well, guys, that was Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, and Oh, shocker of shockers, it had to end with an ultra preachy message about the power of friendship. No, fuck off. Oh my god. You know, I guess it wouldn't be a proper fucking Yu-Gi-Oh story if they didn't decide to ham-fistedly ram all of this friendship garbage down everybody's throats. So I guess I shouldn't be pissed that it's there. I'm just angered at how poorly fucking written it was. And on that note, let's talk about the writing. I stated this earlier. I now remember why I stopped watching the show, because the show kind of sucked. I mean, guys, as cheesy and goofy and kind of fun as like the first arc of the show was, the writing just got cringe. It just got cringe-worthingly bad. And that's the problem here, is the dialogue from every character. Every line of dialogue is just so stupid. It is so mindless. It serves almost no purpose. The very fact that you can basically sum up every single character's, you can sum up every single character's dialogue with probably like 1 or 2 words, shows you that we don't have a lot going on here for almost 90 minutes. Because it's either Kaiba continuously talking about how he has to beat Yugi, even though if memory serves, he has beaten him a couple of times, or if it's not Taya constantly whinging on about friendship, or, it's Yugi begging that everything be stopped because something doesn't feel fucking right. That's literally the entire movie. The writing here, okay, I am going to say, if you're maybe 6, possibly 7, the movie then is going to be fine for you, because you are going to love this writing. The writing is that childish and that ultimately stupid that if you are incredibly young, you are going to be really into it. But if you're over the age of 7, maybe 8, I will go as high as 10. If you are over the age of 10, no. Because especially if you have any working knowledge of the fucking card game, or even any knowledge of the first couple of arcs, you are going to be able to blast holes in this thing left, right, and center. And that, to me, guys, is sort of the big issue here, is that ultimately we have just a very poorly written thing that it kind of sort of feels like a little like filler arc that would have taken like 3 episodes had it have been broadcast. And the fact is that it actually does cut off every like 25 minutes or so, where it actually does feel like it could have then been repackaged as a 3-episode arc, which tells me that that's probably what they were shooting for here, and then they decided to say, nah, fuck it, let's just throw it into theaters. And the writing here is just terrible. I'm going to talk about the duels for a second, because that was one of the biggest issues when it came to the show, is that there was no strategy involved in any duel you ever saw on the show. Almost every single duel ended because somebody won either by sheer fucking luck and drawing the one card which goes and lets them play the sequence of 8 goddamn cards that guarantees an instant win, or they simply win because they're playing against somebody who has a very poorly built deck. Well, we don't have any poorly built decks in this thing, so naturally, almost every single duel is finished because of one really lucky fucking draw. Except for the final duel, where we basically get where we get like 2, maybe 3 of those, and then it basically is just counter on top of counter on top of counter that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And just in terms of like gameplay, I do have to question the Pyramid of Light, because guys, unlike the show, which went for a very, very minimalist art style on the cards, where you basically just got the card image and nothing else, this thing actually went in and digitally put every single detail that would be on the actual cards. And the Pyramid of Light's effect is that all God cards are removed from play, which would be really good if the God cards were actually labeled as God cards anywhere on them. But no, they actually have the fucking element of, I believe the element is divine, and I only know that through memory. But the cards that themselves, and you see it clearly here, The card type is not God, it is Divine Beast, which then renders the Pyramid of Light completely worthless. Why the fuck am I bitching about gameplay in a movie that, well, of course, because the movie's supposed to be a fucking advertisement for these cards, and if you're not going to use, and if you're not going to use the cards right, or if the cards are worded in a janky and stupid fashion, then it kind of renders the whole thing pointless. Speaking of poorly worded shit, the ending. The ending makes no goddamn sense at all. Because, okay, our main villain, which is the ancient Egyptian Lord of Death, Anubis, he basically comes into the real world, and he transforms himself into a real monster and starts to fucking attack. Basically citing that what happens if the monsters are real. At no time does he say that all monsters become real, but all of a sudden then everybody's able to grab cards, hold them up, and suddenly bang, the monsters are real. Why the hell would anybody create or use some kind of a power which could be that easily fucking used against him? The only thing he said is what happens if the monsters are real. He said that as he was turning into a monster. That doesn't mean every single card can magically turn into a physical form of the monster on the card. It means he's become a monster. But of course, that's all shit that, once more, if you are over the age of 10, you can sort of think about that and just blast holes through it without any fucking problem. Excuse me. Guys, ultimately, writing here is a fucking joke. It is. Writing here is terrible. And it, guys, is terrible by the standards of the frickin' show. This thing, guys, I mentioned earlier, it kind of sort of felt almost like a 3-episode filler fucking arc. It, guys, isn't even good by the standards of filler fucking arcs. This thing was terrible in terms of writing. The acting, well, the acting is okay, but then again, it also is the kind of shit cast who was doing these voices for the show. So you basically get that same kind of ultra cheesy, kind of stupid acting. And okay, you know what? It kind of works, and I am not going to bitch about it much. Excuse me. So yeah, alright, so acting is fine. Animation here is fine, but then again, that's because I believe this thing was animated by the same company that worked on the show, even though the movie itself was made by 4 kids to try to tie into the US dub of the show. It really doesn't fucking matter. It was still animated overseas, I believe, by the same studio that worked on the show. So everything there looks fine. Sound mix here is fine. The music here, the music here is kind of shit. But then again, but you see, you also barely fucking notice, the music. So really, that isn't even a problem. Ultimately, guys, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie? If you are, again, about 10 years old or less, or you're a die-hard fan of the franchise, then by all means, go right ahead, check it out. However, I'm going to assume that if you are a die-hard Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you've probably already seen this, and can already tell me if it's good or if it's bad to you. But I could still maybe recommend it there. But if you're just curious, no, fuck no, man, this thing is shit. Oh my god, that movie sucked ass. I'm actually kind of happy I got it friggin' as cheap as I did for the series. Guys, I am not even joking. I got that thing for 99 cents. So frankly, I honestly am not out, too much. It's just, god damn it, I was hoping for it to be a little bit better. Man, oh man, that was just bad. Well, it wasn't bad as much as just boring. And that's because it's really dull watching 2 people just play a fucking card game and spit out really cheesy fucking dialogue. It really is, especially when it's a card game that has almost no goddamn strategy, and the writers don't bother to put any kind of strategy into the fucking script itself. Ultimately, it's going to be boring as shit to watch. Man. Well, at least now I fucking remember why I stopped watching the show. You know what, guys? After watching all this, I actually kind of sort of feel like organizing all of my fucking Magic cards. Why? Just fucking because. Anyway, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.